Welcome to the Ray and Everything show where we talk about Ray and everything. Yesterday was some big fights. Last night, pardon me, I had a little stuff in my car. There was some big fights last night. Yo, we got a full moon. We got a full moon going on out here. Some prayers in. But it was a good. Well, it wasn't. It was some decent fights. The Marcus Brown fight was really good. I like that. That was that was one of the better fights. It's going to be crazy to see how he does. It'll be interesting to see how he does in these next couple of fights coming up. I think he's well aware of where he is, well aware of, what's going on around him, and he seems to be taking control of his career. So, I like Marcus Brown. I like him as a fighter. I'm gonna be rooting for him in the future. Sucks what happened to Adrian Broner last night. It sucks and it kind of doesn't suck because the dude is very, very ignorant. And I here's what I'll say about his language and how he speaks to people. I don't really have a problem with, him cursing out if it's warranted, or him telling people off if it's warranted. But, he feels like people are against him. They are. People are against you. But the question is why? Why are people against you? Why are you thinking that way? Here's why. Because it's one thing to be flamboyant and humble yourself at the times you need to humble yourself. Quiet yourself at the times you need to quiet yourself. Not give an answer at the times when you need to not give an answer. And then there's another thing to just be ignorant and flamboyant, and you making people feel bad and flaunting your success in people's face. Now, don't get me wrong. Adrian Broner is successful. He's very successful for his age. He's done quite well for himself. He's in the upper $1 million. From the looks of it, beautiful home, beautiful children. I don't know if he's married, but beautiful home, beautiful children. He's nice vehicles. He's doing what he has to do for himself. He has all the material wealth that he needs to survive for the rest of his life. But with all that being said, you're training for a fight, bro. You're training for a fight. I don't know if it's coaches or it was just him. At this point in his fighter's life, in his fighter's career, he should have known what he needed to do to win this fight. And he should have known, especially in the last couple of years of watching these fights, that if you don't win overwhelmingly and you leave it up saying that, I'm this great fighter and able to physically do, sometimes you just can't physically do, right? But if you knew you didn't physically do, okay, back again, Ray and Everything. This is the Ray and Everything show. We got a full moon tonight and it's cold. So it's beautiful right now. Okay, back to what I was saying. So if you're Adrian Broner and you didn't go in there with the thought of Pacquiao's shorter than me, I got a long arm extension. He doesn't really use his full arm extension. I'm going to control this guy with the jab. And then I'm going to do a lot of catching and shooting. But no, Adrian Broner has to relearn how to fight again because the Mayweather era is over. So, and I get it because there's so many fighters had to go back and recalculate what they were doing and, you know, be told, yo, don't fight like Floyd Mayweather. Don't do that. Don't do that shoulder roll nonsense. It's nonsense. It's a garbage way to fight. And Mayweather, at the end of his career, yeah, he could pop shot you to death and win the fight. That's at the end of his career. It wasn't at the beginning of his career. At the beginning of his career, Mayweather was a dog. A dog with like triple G, like he was a dog. He would be all over you. His inside fighting was so ridiculous. His hands would move so fast, he would overwhelm you. He would overwhelm you. You'll make a mistake, and you're overwhelmed. But Adrian Broner hasn't did that. He hasn't did that in all these weight classes. He might have done it at 130 or 135. But when it got to 140 and 147, no, you can't do that no more. You can't do that no more. And you're going to get hit with shots. And so he's doing it at 140. Sometimes he fights at catch weights at 144 or whatever. But he doesn't fight. He waits till he gets upset about getting hit, and then he starts to get courage and turn it on in the later rounds. He didn't even do that in this fight. The last round, he didn't land one punch, or he might have landed one punch. It's like, bro, you at the top of the mountain. You're getting millions of dollars to fight. You don't have to work. You in camp, you don't got to take care of the kids. You in camp, you ain't got to do nothing but focus on your fight game and bring that check home. And you couldn't do that? You couldn't focus on a jab enough to know that you needed to use the jab to win the rounds. Because you would have won the rounds if you was just trying to go to the cards. You would have won the rounds if you would have just pop with the jab, pop with the jab, catch, shoot, move around. You didn't do that. Then you got the nerve to tell the people you won this fight. No, you fought the fight not to get knocked out. You did better in this fight than you did in the other fights, but this is a rusty, really 140-pound Manny Pacquiao. This is a rusty 40-year-old, 40-pound, 140-pound Manny Pacquiao, bro. In the times when you needed to dig, you were supposed to dig. In the times when you needed to have him fighting off his back foot, that's what you were supposed to have been doing. From the outset, he was supposed to have been fighting off his back foot. From the outset, he was supposed to have been fighting on the inside, but that's what's wrong with Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner doesn't want to fight on the inside because he knows how to, because I've seen him fight on the inside with Mikey Garcia. And he hurt Mikey Garcia to the body. Adrian Broner hits hard, but he doesn't believe in it. He was gunshot with the right hand most of the fight. He hits hard, but doesn't believe in himself. He believes in himself when he gets angry. And that's not the way to fight. That's not the way to fight. The way to fight is to believe in yourself when you're not angry, and then know that, yeah, I'm about to set. Then you didn't even set Pacquiao for no shots. You're a professional, bro. You've been pro for years. You didn't set him up for no shots. The younger fighters are getting in there setting people up for shots. You didn't set him up for no shots. You didn't set him up for no favorite right hands. You ain't set him up for no favorite lefts. All you did was wait for him to work so you could try to work off his work. And that's not, sometimes you can't do that, man. The reason why Errol Spence is my favorite fighter is because he knows how to fight going forward. And then he knows how to take half steps back and fight going backwards as well. And then he'll inside fight. He'll fight on the inside. And sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you got no choice but to fight on the inside. Sometimes you just have no choice but to fight on the inside. Sometimes that's just what it is. I remember Lara having no choice but to fight on the inside. He lost the fight, but that's what it is. Remember, there's all kind of fighters out there. There's fighters who are fancy and they slick and they throw punches and they maneuver out of the way of your punch and they slip in punches and this and that. And then there's fighters that's just rugged. That's just rugged. They're gonna walk you like a dog. They are gonna walk you. They're gonna walk you down into a corner and they're gonna pound you out. Hurd is one of them. Hurd will walk you down. Hurd his last fight up at 154. The champion at 154, damn near the unified champ. I don't see nobody beating Hurd. His last fight, he was forced to fight on the inside by a shorter guy who was strong and faster, much faster than him. He body shotted that dude to the ground. He got to about the fourth round, was like, I'm tired of sitting on the ropes, and got up off them ropes. And sometimes that's what you got to do. But Broner doesn't have that. He just doesn't feel that. And I can't believe this Cunningham. Yeah, his coaches. Let's get to his coaches. Because his coaches are another part of the blame. The yes men. And not to say that his coaches are yes men for everybody. No disrespect to his coaches. But come on, bro. Come on. I seen the way y'all was training. Y'all doing all this fast hand, blah, 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 with the pads. For what? What are you doing all this fast hand stuff with the pads? You know he needed to go back to the fundamentals. He needed to go back to the fundamentals. And they didn't work the fundamentals. And I said he was going to lose because they refused to work the fundamentals. Just the fundamentals. Timing, jab, hook, behind your straight right, catching and shooting, and inside fighting. And it just looked like he relearned how to feed. He's retraining himself on fighting, but the fundamentals are gone. Like the fundamentals gone. He left the fundamentals behind. Behind. There was a great basketball player, Steve Smith. He played for the Hawks. He played for LA for some years. I think he got some chips with the Lakers. He's a great three-point shooter. You know, he wasn't really great at driving. He was a good three-point shooter. Wasn't the best, but he was slow. He didn't have the greatest handle, but he was in the NBA. He was in the NBA for some years. And because he wasn't athletic, he relied on the fundamentals. And sometimes that's what you got to do. A lot of times that's what you got to do. You know, athletes are good. Of course, they're going to be the best at a lot of sports because they're athletic, right? And it's like, okay, things come natural to them because physically they're just physically strong, right? So they're athletic, they're just physically strong. They got strong legs, they can move fast, But the thing is, you know who beats athletes? Fundamentals, knowledge, and preparing your body for it. So you can be as athletic as you want to be. But you get in the ring with somebody that's fundamentally sound, and they're going to pick you apart all day. They're going to figure it out. They're going to say, oh, okay, oh, this dude is fast with the jab. Oh, this dude is slick over here. Oh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk him down. Oh, this dude is an inside fighter. Oh, I'm going to move around, and I'm going to get good shots. I'm gonna get some of the best shots. I'm gonna take the life out of this guy. And so I don't know if it's the waking up in silk sheets, but Adrian Broner needs to go back to the drawing board and get back to those fundamentals. Fighting inside, fighting outside, using the jab well too. Not just that little rangefinder nonsense. No, using the jab like that, like hitting you with so many jabs that the jab breaks your face after a while. The same spot, punching the arm, punching the shoulder, punching the head, punching the eye, whatever you can hit. Then he's gonna have to rework on his stance because how he's coming in, how he's throwing the shots. They're particularly not hurting. They're not being respected. Rain everything. Holy. Yeah, back to my rant about this, about Adrian Broner. As far as it goes with Pacquiao, man, listen, Pacquiao, give it up, bro. Give it up. You had a 12-round fight with Adrian Broner. You barely touched him. You did get some good shots, but you think you are. Feels good because we're around the same age. You're a year older than me. I know you feel good when you get you hit in the gym and you're working on things and you got great knowledge of how to win. But bro, you are not physically prepared to deal with some of the likes of these welterweights. So I think your next fight should be a rangefinder, like a rangy fight, to see if you can really deal with these welterweights. If you can really deal with them, like, let's see who's out there. I mean, everybody else got a fight. I think Danny Garcia has a fight. I think he fights Granados. I think I know Keith Thurman fights Josecito Lopez. Of course, Spence fights Garcia. That's a monster fight. Who's out there? There's somebody out there that you could, and Sean Porter fights Ugas. That's going to be a monster fight as well. Let's see who's out there that you could fight at 147. That's on the PBC side. That will be a good fight for you. And you that will be kind of rangy. You know, someone you get in there and they're giving you some work. They're giving you some work. I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe Kell Brook. Maybe they can do a deal. Kell Brook can come over to the United States and fight Manny Pacquiao, and you'll get a good range. If he can get back down to 147, you get a good range of where you are. That'll give you a decent range of where you are. I think that'd be great if they could do that. It'll give Kell Brook a decent fight. Kell Brook will come back down to 147 in the welterweights. They can possibly get Kell Brook in the range of being a champion. You know, he could possibly beat Pacquiao. But we need to see if he's physically up for the challenge. Because you think Spencer's going to play a game with you with that whole little nonsense 1-1-2 garbage, and he ain't going to walk you down? He's going to walk you down. And he's going to punch you. He's going to be thumbing on you. Round after round, round after round, they're going to be walking you down. Now, Garcia might not walk you down because he don't. But Keith Thurman's going to wind up hitting you dumb hard, too. So, I suggest you take a Kell Brook since Terrence Crawford is fighting Amir Khan. And that's what I think. I think it would be great if the next fight could be announced for you should be Kell Brook, so you can get a range to see if you can really deal with the young, hungry lions. Really, you dealt with a guy who's really best at 140 in Adrian Broner. Billy best at 130. He kind of thought that would be a range like for Mayweather, but no, because Mayweather's not like his whole fighting style, but he changed that fighting style. And then besides that, you know, you haven't really fought a thumper. Like, Adrian's not going to fight coming forward. He's just not. He will maybe after he gets mad. And I think Lamar Peterson already got a fight. And I think Lamar Peterson might have went back down to 140. So yeah, I think best fight would be, Kell Brook at 147. I think Kell Brook was going to come down to 147 and fight Amir Khan anyway. So I think Kell Brook should fight Manny Pacquiao and get him in the I know this is going to be, but if Kell Brook can, get free or somehow get his promoter I'm pretty sure his promoter, and Al Heyman, I'm pretty sure they'll love to put on the Manny Pacquiao fight. They'll love to put that on. That'd be a decent fight. You can put that on PBC on Fox. You can put that on. You can put it on whatever. People will watch it. But I don't think that was a good range to test what you could do at welterweight. I don't think so. Because you didn't knock AB out, that's not a good range of what you could do at welterweight. And I think he got a little bit happy because he knocked out Matisse. But, Matisse's a brawler. He's not a man of brains. He really relied on his athleticism. You get in there with somebody who's relying on both, knowledge of the ring and athleticism, and Pacquiao might get knocked out because Pacquiao is, you're not moving the same. You're not moving the same. You're not moving the same. And them little 1, 2, 3s that you running in with, it's just not the same. It's really good. Don't get me wrong, because you really damaged Jeff Horn too. But some of the best fighters, I don't think so, bro. I know the power is still there. I can guarantee you that the power is still there. But the movement, the body movement, I don't know that the body movement is still there. So we're going to see. I think you should, I think, honestly, that you should retire. I don't want to see you retire punch drunk, but I think that's what you're asking for. And I know Mayweather's thinking about it. He wasn't going to answer it right then and there. Mayweather knows he can beat him. Mayweather knows what it's going to take to beat him. I think Mayweather's just trying to make sure the money is right. You're going to see what the other fights look like, and you try to make sure the money is right. I mean, me personally, I don't really care to see Mayweather Pacquiao too, to be honest. But, to each his own. To each his own. Rating everything out.